This is what I'm feeling like. Da, 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 da. Let me tell you what I'm feeling like. Da, 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 da. Yo, what up, though, people? Like to welcome you back to the Keep the C Note podcast. As always, I am your boy Brown. To the left of me, we got
your boy John.
And to the left of John, we got
Vito.
What up, though, fellas? What it look like?
Cold weather.
Yes, sir.
Cold weather. We got a cold show. Let's get it started. Shout out to everybody that's tuned in. If this your first time tuning in, salute to you. Do us a favor. Make sure you hit the sub button, like button, and the bell so you can stay notified when we drop new content. Don't be afraid to leave a comment. If you agree with something, disagree with something, you want to correct one of us on something, or if you just want to call one of us a Oouuber, let us know in the comments. Just make sure you keep it a C Note, and make sure you share this video with someone that likes to talk sports and entertainment just like you, so that we can all talk that talk together. Funniest thing that I've seen recently, fellas, we got Tank Davis, we got Frank Martin. They've agreed to fight. And it's not funny because of the people fighting, but we know Frank Martin turned down fighting Shakur after they supposedly had a deal. We got Devin Haney, he's about to fight Ryan Garcia. Lomachenko, he's about to fight Kambosos, and we got Rolly and Pitbull about to fight. With all these big fights happening, what does that say about Shakur Stevenson? Because to me, it says that either arrogance is getting in the way of him making a big fight, or he has the wrong promotion team. A lot of people saying he's asking for too much money or outrageous demands, but at one point in time, it's got to be a time where the promo team has to step in and like, look, you going to have to take what somebody give you to make one of these big fights. That's what I feel about it, but how do y'all feel? What is this saying about Shakur Stevenson?
Hey, that's your man's, right?
That's Vito's guy. What do you think, Vito? They ducking him?
I think they ducking. And him with the outrageous demands, that might be some extra shit just for him to test their temperature, check their temperature to see if he can get it. But at the end of the day, all them fights that's happening around him, that may be, just think about it, maybe they're not in a rush to fight him. Why not fight somebody else that I can get more money fighting? That's a lesser fighter, lesser skilled fighter. Okay. They got a better chance of beating.
Okay.
Like, I think Tank got a better chance of beating Martin than they do Shakur.
Yeah, but then on the flip side of that, Frank Martin backed out the fight, and he probably has a better chance of beating Shakur than he does Tank Davis.
Yeah,
so
he
that's
does.
That's why I think that narrative goes out the window.
No, but that's a benefit for Frank Martin because Tank is a bigger money fight. So why not take bigger money? Whether I got it, because he got a chance to lose to both fighters, even though Tank's better. But why not go for the bigger money? Because Tank's the biggest fighter.
Ryan Garcia.
Yeah, Tank's the biggest. That's exactly what he's doing. He know he can't beat Tank. He gonna get that check.
I don't know about that. What you think, though, John? What's it say about Shakur, man?
Because wasn't he supposed to fight Lomachenko, right?
Yeah.
No, Loma didn't want to fight him.
Okay, well, he was supposed
the
to
money.
Fight, he was supposed to fight Devin Haney, right?
The money.
And something happened, right?
Yeah.
The money.
He was supposed to fight Frank Martin, right?
The money.
But he was the draw in the Frank Martin fight, so he was dictating terms.
I'm not going to say it's him, but there's something up with his management team that these fights are not falling through. I mean, they're falling through and they're not like happening. So there's something, I don't know, behind the scenes. I don't know if
I'm telling you, Vito, it's the opposite of what you're saying. Shakur Stevenson is making these outrageous demands because he know nobody going to take him. Then he's going to turn around and go to social media and say dudes are ducking him. That's his whole movie.
Did you see the video when his pop admitted to Dev couldn't fuck with Shakur and none of them sparring matches they had?
I mean, that's cool, but this ain't sparring. This is you got to take the headgear off.
It's the same. Headgear ain't stopping you from learning how to fight.
It's not, but it's stopping you from getting melted.
But they getting melted with headgear on. So imagine with no headgear on.
No, I'm talking about, like, I seen a couple of them sparring Jones. When you go look at them Jones, and nigga punch your headgear all the way over here, that mean there's a good chance he could have
You
melted
ain't see
you.
Tank. Who the young boy that Tank was just in this bar with? He ain't get knocked out, but he was fucked up off one of them punches.
I don't know.
You sent the joint to me.
Yeah, I seen
Dark
that
skin
boy.
young boy.
No, you talking about the boy that was manhandling people, and he was manhandling people.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I can't think of his name. It'll be on the screen though. That they call him the sparring king or something like that. I forget his name. Vito, on a sadder note, we haven't seen you since the Super Bowl. We're a couple weeks removed from the funeral or whatever you want to call it, right? And I was just telling John before the show, this might be history, right? We started a podcast, and in 3 years, all our teams have went to the Super Bowl back to back to back.
Damn, I didn't even think about that.
You know what I mean? The sad part about it for you two guys is I'm the only one that won the Super Bowl, and you two bums lost.
I knew that was good.
But listen though, Vito,
Fuck y'all.
y'all been there twice. And y'all been there against Mahomes. Y'all been in the championship games a couple times, got knocked off. It's a lot of people saying the rules thing. They didn't know the rules. It's now people saying Brock Purdy shouldn't be the quarterback.
That's a bullshit excuse.
Let me ask you this, Vito. If you could take one quarterback from the NFC, put them on the 49ers and say, this is going to get me a Super Bowl, especially if we got to play against Mahomes in them, who would that quarterback be? Keep it a C-note.
It got to be from the NFC?
NFC.
Nobody. I would go to AFC.
Okay, and if you had, so you would say no, you would keep Purdy over everybody. Okay, and if you had to go AFC, you would go get who?
Herbert.
Justin Herbert. Okay, what about you, John?
Out the NFC, I'll go Jared Goff for real, because I can see the play style.
Player.
You think they're the same player?
Yeah.
Negative. I don't
The same
think.
player. Actually, you're right, because Jared Goff can't move out that pocket.
Yeah, but Jared Goff might be a little bit more accurate than Brock Purdy.
No, how?
What do you mean?
Where you get that from?
What do you mean?
Have you not been watching?
No, I'm talking about it actually throwing the ball down the field.
Nobody was more accurate than Brock Purdy throwing the ball down the field.
Man, we're not talking about
And we not
9-yard passes.
No,
and
he was top 5 in yards, 20 yards passes, 20 yards or more. Jared Goff wasn't.
Okay.
Touchdowns, 20 yards or more. Number 1.
Okay.
Well, it ain't yak because we was 17th in yak because motherfuckers been using that excuse. Oh yeah, your receivers and getting yak. No, we was 17th as a team in yards after the catch. So
As a team, but that don't got nothing to do with your receivers. What did your receivers yak look like?
What is a team? Who else catch the
What
ball?
is your? If we look,
Who else
if
catches
you
the
go
ball?
on it, if you go right now somewhere and you look it up and you see everybody on your team's yard after catch, what does your team have? Like each
We
player?
were 7. I don't know each individual player.
Because I know Debo, even if y'all
Yeah,
was
he
17,
always in the top.
he's up there.
But as a team, we're 17th. So I don't give a fuck what individually. All together,
Yeah, I
Patrick
see.
Mahomes' yak was higher than his.
Okay.
So I ain't trying to hear none of that shit.
Listen, there's only one answer to this. If the San Francisco, there's only one quarterback right now in the NFC with a ring. I mean,
That
duh.
don't mean shit.
If right now a healthy Matthew Stafford with Debo, not even Debo, with Brandon Ayuk, Christian McCaffrey in that defense, he would get a ring. He would get a ring because he's the most. Listen, he would have seen.
shit.
Listen, that last play, them last couple of plays, he would have seen all that.
Yeah,
bro.
he probably would have. But let's talk about the last couple plays in between where he wouldn't have seen where he threw interceptions all the fucking time.
No.
Yes,
A
Matthew
lot
Stafford
of
always throws interceptions.
Yes, but if you watch Rams games like I do, because I'm a Rams fan, a lot of his interceptions is off dudes not
No, they
catching
not.
them.
Okay,
Or-
and if it's off their hands, 9 times out of 10, that means it's behind them.
No. Sometimes like it just be off their hands. And another thing with LA, sometimes he throws interceptions is because the wide receivers have the option route that they run. And sometimes they may cut the wrong way, and
If it's an option right there, ain't no wrong way. That's him moving too fast.
No. It's been times where those guys cut the wrong way, and he
He don't
throw
always
where
see
it
the
was
field.
open.
that pick six Hufanga got on him, he didn't even look for the defense. He took his steps, no progressions, threw the ball, pick six, game over.
What you was gonna say?
I was gonna say, but I think y'all Rams, just like the San Fran, y'all got some good wide receivers, but y'all wide receivers are still OD too. Y'all, you DeMarcus Robinson, nice. You got Puka Nacua, nice, and then like we expected the Cup of last year.
But what was different with them, and why I say Matthew Stafford would thrive with them, is because they have a good offensive line. And when we won the Super Bowl,
we have a good offensive line, man. Not
y'all got
line.
a good offensive line
line
compared to what
10.
we be having. Compared to what we be having, we got plug and play dudes.
So
we got dudes.
You can only name one dude on my offensive line.
Who can you name off my offensive line?
I don't know.
All right, then. So what we talking about, man?
But I can't name most. But I know Mark Banks, McKivitz. All them dudes are plug and play dudes.
Nah, man, I'm telling you, man, with that running back and all that and all them pieces he had, Brandon Ayuk would have 1,900 yards with Matthew
That's
Stafford.
because, listen,
and a ring.
I give Matthew Stafford credit, which he does that a lot of quarterbacks don't do. He'll force feed a motherfucker the ball. I do like that.
Yeah, but
that don't, just because, even if you say he's better than Purdy, that don't mean he's going to win.
Yeah,
shit.
But listen, you're talking about he's force feeding Cooper when there's nobody on the other side, or he's force feeding Megatron when there's nobody on the other side. With your team, he got Ayuk, he got Kittles, he got Debo, he got Christian. He got too much. He's never had none of that, man. The closest is probably when we had Odell, but we didn't have a running back.
What the fuck does that got to do with anything? He's still going to force feed that motherfucker.
Nah.
He would probably force feed Ayuk. He had Nakua and Cooper at the same time, didn't he, this year?
Yeah, but Cooper missed like 7 games.
So it's 17 games.
But he would definitely have Brandon Ayuk up there. For sure. Let's switch NBA real quick, right? NBA numbers are down. It's a lot of talk about why the numbers are down. I want to ask y'all, why do y'all think the numbers are down in the NBA this year as far as view? Not just this year. They saying over the last couple years, viewership is down.
Because I've noticed a lot of these motherfuckers, commentators, I don't understand how anybody of a certain age could say this, but they say I hear a lot of people say that the players now are better than they were. No, they're not.
Yeah.
They're more athletic. They can run faster, jump higher, but they're not better. That's why I feel like it's going backwards, because it's a watered down version. Like, you got motherfuckers on the bench in the 80s and 90s that were tough as a motherfucker that average casual fan never even heard of. But these dudes now, man, it's like fucking AAU bulls.
Right. What you think, John?
Man, there's a couple things. The rules that are making like the NBA soft, like we're not gonna be able to compete with like these other countries with us watering down these rules.
Right.
And like you can't play real defense, like no hand check, no none of that. And then number 2 is the refereeing. Like, we've had some horrible refereeing. And this is in the NFL, too. In the NBA and the NFL, the last couple of years, the refereeing has been horrible.
Yup, at the top leagues.
Horrible.
They trying to make themselves famous.
And I don't get what the end game is, because it's like it's rigged all over with a lot of these bad calls. And I actually felt bad for y'all, because I think, like, y'all got shitted out on a lot of calls. Like, they ain't throw them holding flags on y'all. It was, I don't know. It's just like, I think that they had these referees, it's probably more than just the referees, but these referees are like pulling the strings, and like you're seeing it like real time watching these games.
I think what the NBA is just the product is watered down. Like Vito said, like you said, John, there's no defense. Nobody want to watch it. But being as though me and you was talking about it, John, being as though it's no defense being played in the highest league in the world, just the best league in the world, it got kids coming up where they're not even trying to play defense. These new kids, all they practicing is shooting threes. They practicing they step back moves. They not practicing nothing that got to do with defense or anything.
No defense. What did you notice about that All-Star game? It was just nothing but 3-point shots being launched. And
That
just
All-Star game was the worst All-Star game I've ever seen.
I
in my
didn't
life.
even watch.
Somebody gets a pass in the paint. You want to lay it up, dunk it, go ahead. Go ahead. Do what you got to do. I was like, this was horrible.
That's probably why they stopped letting Chris Paul make the game, because he was actually the last one that was still trying to have a competitive All-Star game.
Yeah, like, I don't know, man. This whole product, though, is dead. Like, if you can't play defense, you can't really do nothing. And it was funny when you were saying, Vito, you walked in saying that on the show about comparing eras, because I just said this off camera to John. Like, how can you compare offensive players today that's playing in a league where there's no defense, no hand checking, no nothing, and compare them to back shit? And we talk about the plumbers and janitors in the 60s and 70s, but they was playing physical. And they was playing defense. Like, this league we got today, I've never seen nothing like it, man.
So how are we going to be able to keep up and play with these other countries that, play that real ball?
But speaking of other countries, that's what Gilbert Arena, I think it was Gilbert, it was one of them podcast shows that said one of the reasons for the league changing them rules is because them foreign players couldn't compete with the physicality over here when they was coming over here earlier on in the years. Before the rule changes. And I believe that because I told you, I sent you the thing about Steph Curry and all that with Adam Silver said. But I do believe it has to do with them international players too.
And speaking of that, like the leading scorers, let's see how many international players are the top leading scorers. Luka, Shai Gilgeous, Antetokounmpo, Embiid. But like those guys right there, those are the top spots right there.
Yep. Yeah.
But did you see UConn's women's head coach Gino Auriemma, what he said about the foreigners and the American players? He said the reason why the foreigners come over here and everybody from 1 through 5 can shoot, everybody got the fundamentals, the footwork, everybody can play hard. He said because they practice over here. He said over here, especially with the AAU shit, he said they play more games than they practice. He said some people left his AAU team because the other coach said you ain't got to practice, just come play games.
Yeah, I did see that. Yeah, and I ain't know they wasn't practicing in the AAU, but it all makes sense. But I want to piggyback on something. We said the All-Star game. Vito, I know you didn't watch the All-Star game. We've been going back and forth a lot. Vito, I've recently told John, I'm going to say it to the world, no cap, call me an Oouuber. I believe somebody will eventually score 100 points in an All-Star game. That's when it's going to happen. No cap, call them an Oouuber. Because you see 211 points by one team. Cat had 50. Cat had a quiet 50. And it's been dudes over the last couple years putting up 55s and stuff like that. I believe, being as though there's no defense in the All-Star game, that's where somebody's going to score 100 points. What y'all think about that?
I agree. Definitely agree.
I think that shit could happen in a regular game.
It can.
I think, and you know who I think could do it? Luka. Because for some reason, now we all said that no defense is being played, but it seems like it's even less defense being played on him. Do you watch when he play? Nobody contests him.
You know what hold on real quick though. You know why though? Because he one of them dudes is like slow, not fast, but he herky jerky, and he could catch you with some dumb stuff real quick. He do all of the shifty stuff. So I think people don't be wanting to get up on him a lot of times. Pause.
But I was gonna say probably like I could see Devin Booker, he might be able to do that.
Yeah, I can see Devin Booker scoring.
And I can definitely see Steph Curry doing that. Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, they both put up some real high numbers on Golden State. And the times that they did it, they went to the bench early.
Right. Yeah.
Way early, like losing out on a quarter and a half, a whole quarter. Mm-hmm. Like they would have continued to play. Maybe that number could have been possible.
Right.
So I could see Steph pulling out 100.
Maybe the old Klay when he was able to score 37 in the quarter.
Old Klay, not this Klay.
Yeah, but shout out to that, Vito, because I'm talking the All-Star game is very possible, but regular season games ain't too far off from the All-Star defense anyway. So you're right, it could happen in a game. But John, you mentioned Devin Booker. I'm gonna go on record and say it. I want to know how y'all feel about my whole statement. Pause. And I know we keep talking about the U.S. players, the international players, and who's that next guy or who is that guy from America. I know we all love Steph Curry, but eventually Steph Curry is getting up there in age. To me, I feel right now Devin Booker is the best player in the NBA that's an American player. So I just want to see, like, as far as offense, because we already said it's limited defense in the NBA. As far as offense, he got the whole package. He got the handle. He can pull it from anywhere. He can spot up and shoot. He can post up. This year, playing with these other guys, I didn't even know he was that good of a passer. But to me, I feel as though right now Devin Booker is the American hope for the NBA players. Keep it a C-No. What's your thoughts on it?
I can agree because, I mean, if we talking the new generation, I'm not going to add stuff.
Okay.
And if we talking just American, I'm not going to add Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. So it would be only Devin Booker I could probably see being the best American player. And then, I mean, behind him, I see Tatum, but I think Devin Booker is a little step in front of him.
Okay, what you got, Vito?
I don't even think Devin Booker's the best two guard. I think Donovan Mitchell is better than him.
Whoa, really?
Donovan Mitchell is tougher. Ever since they gave Devin Booker the next Kobe, he ain't looked the same ever since then.
Donovan Mitchell.
When they gave him that?
What was it? 2 years ago in the playoff?
After he went to the finals?
Yeah, that
Okay.
probably was around that time.
All right, because I'm saying Donovan ain't better than him.
Donovan
And
better.
listen,
Balling this year, though.
he has them
Donovan
stretches. He has them stretches, but Donovan to me is like it's more fluid for Devin Booker to do it. With Donovan,
look better,
Donovan is a streaky
Exactly.
shooter. You don't know if the jumper is going to be on, and he
Devin-
shoots more
Devin
difficult
Booker
shots.
makes it look a lot smoother, though.
Yeah, Devin Booker makes.
But the difference is Devin Booker is going to live or die with that pull up. Donovan getting in the paint. Devin Booker don't get in the paint like that.
Devin
no
do all that. Now,
he do,
man.
but not like he used
And
to.
he gonna put you in that post, man.
He do.
And listen, it's been a lot of talk the last couple years with Jason Tatum. And don't get me wrong, he's still one of them top guys. But I'm at the point now where I'm watching Jason Tatum, and to me, I think he maxed out on his potential.
Because he did not. I agree.
It's not
He
like
did not
I
work
see
on
him
his
coming
game.
every year and he's just getting way
He's
better.
good as he gonna get.
No,
Yeah,
see, those
that-
same issues he had last year are the same issues he's still having this year. He
Yeah.
still has no left hand, doesn't go left.
Yeah, Jason Tatum. To be honest, I never even looked at Donovan Mitchell like that. I just think, I don't know. To me, Donovan, one of the like I said, Devin Booker. I didn't know he was that good of a passer, but to me, it's like Donovan is kind of there too. Like he ain't getting no better. It's like this is what you gonna
that's
get
just
from
it.
him. You
But
know
the
what I
only
mean?
thing I give Donovan over Devin Booker is that he more athletic. He has that athleticism.
The only
over
motherfucker
that.
I see got more ceiling to go out of the newer generation is Edwards because he's still
Anthony
young.
Edwards, I agree.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think Anthony Edwards is better than Don. I would say he's over Donovan Mitchell right now.
He's because I for me watching a little bit of shit I do see from him, I still see him making young boy mistakes.
Donovan do too. What
Not
do you
like
mean?
him. Not like him.
Donovan come down and shoot a horrible shot. You like, why did he just shoot
Yeah,
that?
everybody
But
do that.
Before we get out of here, let's talk Dame Dash real quick. Dame Dash, he was just ordered to sell his last years of Rocafella to pay off Josh Weber on a movie called Dear Frank. $823,000 judgment. You seen it? What's your thoughts on it? Keep it a C-No.
I think it's messed up, but like we was talking earlier, it's going to be messed up if he sells his shares and they're priced at one point, and then after he sells those shares, the share value of them like skyrockets. So, like, I think Dame Dash was being blackballed anyway. I just think it was a messed up situation. Jay-Z and them, they were going to get that from him regardless, some way, somehow. Them lawyers, you ain't getting around that.
Well, they're gonna have to auction to get it because it's going up for. It ain't like you want to bid to get that shit.
But how? This is my question because I just seen recently. How is it that his form of payment has to be to sell his shares of Rocafella. Why does he have to sell it to pay this guy off?
He don't got no money.
He ain't got that.
But when motherfuckers get sued for other shit, they get sued and they don't say, in order for you to pay this man off, you have to sell this specifically.
Right. That's why I was saying I was trying to find out what's going on, because if you look into it, if you Google Dame Dash right now, it's going to be a bunch of articles come up about it. But a lot of headlines are going to be like Jay-Z and don't agree with it. And it's going to make you think like they on Dame's side. But in all actuality, a couple years ago, Dame tried to sell Lee's shares and Jay and Biggs blocked it. You know what I mean? And it made it where you had to vote to be bought out. So that's what they're not going for. Like, they don't want it to get auctioned off to a third party, and they don't have the same interest in the shares as Biggs and Jay do.
And Jay-Z gave him an offer. Dame gave Jay an offer before that was just turned down.
Jay said, Dame said Jay offered him something for it, but it was peanuts.
Yeah, he rejected that, John.
You know what I mean? So I just feel as though, like, a lot of these, Dame been losing, like, when I was looking up stuff on it, he lost a lot of money, like, on court stuff.
Yeah.
Because even with, I think they said he had to sell Rocafella back in the day, part of that was, like, through some type of court shit with that.
So how was it? Because I remember at one point Dame kept saying Lee Daniels owed him $2 million.
Right.
Why the fuck Lee Daniels ain't had to sell something to pay Dame off?
Exactly. I wonder if he got that $2 million from Lee Daniels.
Yeah. See, now, my whole thing is this. And if anybody know, please let us know. Dame owes this guy $823,000, right? But he got it handed portfolio over to whoever. He got it, the sheriffs or whoever. If they sell them shares for $4 million, what happens to that extra money? Does it go to Dame or does it go to the courts, or where does that money go to?
Don't it go to the boss since he own it now?
Yeah,
All of it, everything would go.
So.
It depends on when the share value, whatever, went up and whose possession of their portfolio was.
But if I sell it to you or give it to you, whatever the case may be, it's no longer mine. So I don't. Why would Dame get anything if that's the case?
Yeah, but he's not actually giving it. They turning it over to like the courts, right? The courts is doing the auction.
But they giving it to. But
yeah, that's what I meant.
He turned it over, so he lose it altogether, right?
Dame.
So he don't get shit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He don't get nothing. But would the guy get if it sell for $4 million? Would he get all $4 million?
I would think
or
so.
Or somehow the courts gonna weasel.
Now that you know how they do.
And see, what would be right is that 800 or whatever thousand would be taken out of that $4 million, and that money given back to Dame Dash.
Yeah, why they don't
and
just
court costs would be taken out of that.
How many shares does he own of Rocafella?
That I don't know.
And what is it worth?
I think they all. I don't know what is. I think it said it's broke down into them three. They the only ones that own shares. They all three of them. Mm-hmm. But when he was trying to sell it before, they blocked it basically. But I'm saying you ordering him to turn him over. Why he can't just unblock? You make a court ruling where. No, he has to sell it so he could get the money, and then you just let it. Why you got to take it from him?
Just let him sell it.
Yeah, why you got to take it from him? And that's what I don't understand. That's vicious.
Because, like, if anything, somebody else in Rocafella could buy the shit so it could stay in Rocafella, and he can get the money to pay this guy off.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's like, I know Rocafella got to be worth something, because I just seen, with Nelly sold half his catalog for $50 million or some shit.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah, and the thing is, they want to buy Dame out, but the judge said no, it's gonna go through an auction.
Oh yeah, that sounds like a setup.
You know what I mean? But they can rig the auction.
Hell
Come
yeah.
on, man. Before we get out of here, let's just briefly, because John, I heard you say something about it, and it's been crazy conspiracies out here. We seeing the color schemes with football, and we've talked about it before. Are y'all believing these conspiracy theories? Not as sports rigged, but are y'all believing these theories that you're seeing, the color schemes and this and that? Like, keep it a C note.
I do think that is rigged, but with the color schemes, I think that's to throw us off, and it's a money scheme. And I think it goes back to Vegas, and it goes back to betting, and what they want you to place your money on, the odds, the favor to these teams.
Right.
Like, I definitely think they got their hands in on that brick shit.
Right. What you think, Vito?
I definitely believe it's rigged, because why would they leave it to chance? Like, sports betting is legal. It's too much. It's too many guys out here that study sports and bet.
Right.
And the odds are too crazy. They would be getting smacked every night for them
Right.
dudes who that's all they do is bet. So
Right.
ain't no way in the world they just gonna be letting themselves get beat every motherfucking day.
So, since we know that the NFL, NBA is entertainment, it's almost viewed as like wrestling now, right? Do you think that there's anything genuine about the game now, whether in the NFL or the NBA? Is it genuine? Is anything really won on the field or on the court?
I don't know. Me personally, I don't know, because when you mention that, I think it is Aaron Rodgers just had this injury, and then like a week, 2 weeks later, he walking around with no. Like, I'm starting to even question injuries. Like, even when you notice, and I don't know how they're doing it, but the coincidence with what's the kid from the Niners? I mean, not the Niners, from Washington. The quarterback.
Sam Howell?
That blew his knee out and he blew his knee out the same way on the same day, like years later.
He's a commentator now.
Whatchamacallit, Andy Reid,
RG3?
old quarterback.
That's what I was thinking. RG3, not.
No, Andy.
Kirk Cousins?
No, what's the other one?
You said Andy Reid, old quarterback?
Yeah, the boy that used to play in
Garcia.
No, the boy that used to play in KC before Mahomes. Remember he blew his knee
Alex
out.
Smith?
Yeah, Alex
Smith,
Smith.
that's
Remember
what
he
I
had the crazy injury, and then like it came out years like I think it was, who was it? Joe Naismith, whoever it was. They blew they had the same exact injury on the same field, like 30, 40, and I'm like, yo, how is this possible? Even with the when Kobe died, 126, right? Ain't that when I think Kobe die 126?
I don't know, but I seen this conspiracy theory
20.
of the 13s for the Super Bowl, all the 13s that add up for KC.
Yeah, I seen
Taylor
that. Yeah.
Swift album, all this extra shit.
Yeah, I seen that. Yeah, but even with the Kobe Bryant 126, ain't that the day that Luka put up the 73 points? I just knew somebody was gonna have a special day. They've been it's little stuff, but like I told John earlier, that color thing, I think it might have been a thing 2 years ago, but once people start catching on to it, they was already off that.
Yeah.
I think we catch things late, and a lot of like, shout out to cousin Reek. Me and cousin Reek, we be seeing a lot of things in these games, and we be hitting each other up, and I be like, yo, it's a lot of like weird stuff that was going on all year, and you gotta look at it. I'm like, man, that can't be a coincidence. Like with y'all. This year, if I'm not mistaken, we could look it up and come back to it on the next episode. This year, every team that had a win streak had a 5-game winning streak, except for three sixes. It was 3 teams had a 6-game winning streak this year, I believe. I believe it was San Fran, KC, the two teams that made the Super Bowl, and the alternate team, Baltimore. Everybody else had got their game snapped on a 5-game winning streak, and a lot of stuff that was funny with that, like with y'all snapped Jacksonville 5-game winning streak, and then y'all went on like a 6-game winning streak. Denver snapped Kansas City 6-game winning streak, and then they went on a 5-game, and it was like that. One team would stop somebody's streak, and then and we started noticing that, and I was like, I don't know. The 5, I don't know if how it played out in the Super Bowl. I never went back and looked at it. But one thing I found interesting, NBA All-Star game, you know, they was doing a captain thing. They said LeBron James' team had won 5 years in a row, and then he lost. So I'm like, it's something with the number 5. And when let's look at people that's like, I don't want to say these societies, but these societies, if they don't watch sports, how would they know what to bet on? It's got to be off the numbers and plays like that, shit that the announcers be saying, you know what I mean? To me, it's like shit like that is like giving you the heads up on stuff.
Yep, little symbolic shit that be in commercials and shit that the normal person just wouldn't recognize.
Or even when you see them, I think the NFL be doing it. They put shit out on purpose. Like last year when they put out the joint, every time the Eagles play Pittsburgh and Philly or wherever, and they beat them, they go to the Super Bowl that year, and then they went. So they drop little nuggets on you throughout the year. It's just a lot of people overlook it.
Yeah, and then they might set you up by keep saying that, and then one year it might happen, and you go bet for that team to win the Super Bowl, and they motherfuckers don't even make it. Did y'all think Lamar Jackson deserved MVP this year?
That's a tough one.
No, I don't. I think Lamar Jackson had a good season. To me, I don't think he had an MVP season. That's just me. I don't think he had an MVP.
Who would you
season.
give an MVP to?
I don't know, man. I don't know, cause
Somebody from KC. I mean,
yeah, cause I'm saying now that it's over, it's like it's easy to say Mahomes. You know what I mean? Now that it's over,
and I think that they should hold off from giving out those awards. I don't think they should be giving out. I mean, right after the end of the season. I think
But it's a regular season award, though.
yeah, it's a regular. But I think I might agree with you though. What you said at the beginning of the year, I think maybe somebody that wasn't a quarterback should have won it this year. Like a Christian McCaffrey,
nice.
Or who was a receiver that was getting busy?
Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek Hill, like one of them. I think, you know what I mean.
I would like to see a defensive motherfucker win that shit,
Or even a defensive player. You know what I mean. But yeah, I don't really think Lamar was like.
He wasn't, because it was too many quarterbacks who had winning records whose numbers was much better than his.
They compared his stats of last year to Tyrod Taylor. I forget what year it was, but his numbers were just like above Tyrod Taylor's. I mean, they were like neck and neck almost.
Pause.
Pause.
Shout out to Tyrod Taylor with the MVP numbers, then, man. Y'all got anything else?
No.
Well, people, we about to wrap this episode up. Definitely appreciate everybody for tuning in. Again, if this your first time tuning in, salute to you. Please do us a favor. Make sure you hit the sub button, like button, and the bell to stay notified when we drop new content. Don't be afraid to leave a comment. You agree, disagree, want to correct us on something, or if you want to call one of us an Oouuber, let us know in the comments. Just make sure you keep the C note. Make sure you share this video with someone that likes to talk sports and entertainment just like you, so that we can all talk that talk together. As always, I am your boy Brown. To the left of me, we got
Your boy John.
To the left of John, we got
Vito.
Please tell a friend and tell a friend and tell a friend to keep it a C note. We holla at y'all.
This is what I'm feeling like. Da, 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 da. Let me tell you what I'm feeling like. Da, da, da.